State champion, Division 2 Traditional Animation. The award goes to Sherman.
Getting the message out to as many people as possible. Even though these awards are, you know, like they have merit to them, like, oh, first place, oh, nationally nominated, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about the award itself. I just care that it's going to people that it might matter to. So something like suicide, like somebody who's had like suicidal thoughts, like I want that message to go to them, that somebody cares about them.
What we're doing now is that basically Adam wants a voice in the music itself without having an actual voice. So what I do is I try to speak what he's trying to say through music.
Most of the ideas I make are very spur of the moment. Like, I have so many ideas that pop up in my head, but it's only like a real select few that actually go through and I actually make them. So the ones that I've made for state, for example, were just spur of the moment. I kind of made them like on the spot, but I continued with them because I felt there were messages that needed to be addressed. Like Why I Left, for example, relationship abuse, and understanding the inner turmoil of somebody going through relationship abuse. And No Takebacks, not only discussing mental health, suicide, but how it affects others and not just yourself. That's what it's supposed to represent. So with this one, With Good Night, it's supposed to represent this entrance into the unknown and the unwillingness to go into the unknown, but ultimately having to accept it because everything in our world is unknown except for these constants that happen.
Throughout the whole film, or the films that we've done so far, there's either a feeling of despair, a feeling of loss, or a feeling of rejoice or reminiscence. It's just these different feelings that I have to capture through notes and my own fingers to finally be able to say in my own words, like, this is what the story is saying without saying anything.
Initially with Why I Left, for example, a lot of it was just straightforward. There was no sense of a storyboard, rough animation, cleanup, none of that. Now it's completely changed. Originally you start out with some concept art, so you know there's like one or two little concepts that I made up just to get an idea of the visuals of it. And then you go into the script. The script can have so many rewrites until you get something that's really good. And then you have a storyboard. So the storyboard is just like, imagine all the concept that I made, just like really rough, but it shows the story of the entire animation. So start to finish. Then usually we have the voice acting that happens after the storyboard. So I had asked Lucinda to play one of the main roles in it, and she's just said, yeah, sure, let's do it.
But yeah, I was just really honored, and he said that he had an idea about a domestic violence film, and that's like something that I was really passionate about. And I also have like a prose piece on it at the time that I was like reading, so it really aligned, and yeah, it was just really cool.
We just kind of went to the library to record lines because we had no like sense of anything of like budget or anything, you know, there was nothing. So we would be in the library just recording.
It sounds gross, do it again. And I'll be like, okay.
That sounds terrible, do it again. All right.
I honestly thought it was one of those things where someone just tells you that they're gonna do something and they never follow through. I never heard that Adam even animated before that point, so I didn't even know that he was capable of doing that. And also, being a freshman in high school, I didn't even know that animation was a category that we had for UIL. I just thought it was narrative and documentary. So when he told me about it, he approached me and he asked me if I wanted to star in his animation that he was creating, and he wanted to make me the lead role. So I was obviously really flattered because I was a freshman and I didn't even know that he knew I was in theater. So that was very shocking.
So we have an idea of the story visually, and also we have the script, so we have the dialogue and everything. And then from there, we have the rough animation, which usually is breaking down all the things that are going to be animated into simpler shapes, and then roughly outlining how they're going to be animated, and then finally outlining the animation, and then coloring, and then the backgrounds, and then compositing, editing, all that fancy stuff that's at the end to make it look nicer.
I usually come at the end because I want to like line up with the voices and everything, and make sure that when a person says a line like this is the end or there's nothing left, I want it to have that impact with the chords and the music and follow the variations of the sounds to work around it, to give it shape, to make a body from the animation.
If I were to wish anything for my current film, it would be to keep it to the same standard of my previous films, if not that, beyond. Because I need to make sure that this message is worth it, like to anybody that watches it, not just a select few people, just as many people as it can hit.
So when he's writing the script and he's doing multiple drafts, rewriting it, rehashing everything, and he's telling me through I just want this to be right. I feel the same way about my music. I just want it to be right for him because he's my friend and he means a lot to me, and to not make good music for him, it just feels like a dishonor. You get me?
No, I'm not exporting. I'm changing it to melody. So that's like 2 chords. What the heck? I'm not gonna do anything with that.
In the end, whether or not judges like it for its production or whatever, as long as it's a story that I'm happy telling, that makes me happy. And as long as people get something out of it, that's what makes